Hi, everyone. I'm Ross Treelevin, and this is another Sprague Spotlight interview. Today I'm with,
MaryJo Thompson, and I am the BAC from the Eugene branch.
and I believe, reigning BAC of the year. Is that right?
That is correct. Thank you, Ross.
Absolutely. Well, thank you. 2019 was one of those years that we were really excited to wrap up, if I remember, and we did not know what 2020 had in store for us.
So true. Yes. 2020 has been a year I think I would like to forget.
Yeah, one of those interesting years that we will look back on and reflect on when it's all over, I'm sure.
Yes, when it's all over.
Now, 2021 is kind of exciting. There, you've got an anniversary coming up, I believe, in April.
That's true. It'll be my 20th year here at Sprague at the Eugene office, and that's a long time. Looking forward to my 5 weeks off. I'm going to take it.
That's awesome.
Hopefully we can travel somewhere.
Well, how did your journey start with Sprague 20 years ago?
20 years ago, my children were young. They were in elementary school, and I was working full time. And I wanted to be able to be a little bit more present as a mother, and I wanted to pick them up from school. That was important to me. And I started looking for part time positions. And at that time, Sprague was opening an office in Eugene. And I applied and went through the process. I interviewed with Miller and got the job, and it worked out great. At that time, I was able, to leave and just pick the girls up from school, and and then it eventually evolved into a full time position as we grew.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that kind of happens now. Well, I know that your first boss then was Mike.
Mike Malloy, yes.
Mike, how would you describe Mike as a boss or as just a person, maybe?
Two different animals there. Not one of the best managers I've ever worked for, but a person who would give you the shirt off his back and would do anything for you, and who lived the Sprague values 24/7.
Yes, he would loudly proclaim Sprague passionately delivers uncompromising service. He would be the one who would lead that like it was like we were coming out of the locker room. It was.
Yes, yes, it was his chair.
So how has the Eugene office evolved in those 20 years?
Um, Somewhat still the same, and then it's I would say it's gotten better. It's when we started, it was two techs, I think, and covered like 3/4 of the state. It was crazy. I mean, we covered from the valley all the way out to the coast, all the way to Eastern Oregon.
Yeah.
And so it's grown quite a bit to the point where we divided the branch. Medford split off from us. So yeah, I would also say, we've grown in the valley here in that fumigation work. I think I'm right in saying that
Yeah.
we do the most.
I think that's right. I think that especially when I didn't know Oregon very well, I had no sort of understanding of how big it was, and you guys covered 3/4 of it. It was with two techs at the time. It was a very difficult job, that's for sure.
Yes, yes.
So how would you describe yourself?
Um, I would describe myself as kind of like the mother of the branch. I think I have a lot of children, and sometimes I'm kind of strict, and I think they would agree with me. But they're acting like kids, and so I hold all of us to the same high standard that I expect of everyone. So we work for a company, and we've got to deliver.
When I asked around ahead of time, I heard she's got my back. I heard she makes me better. I heard that without MaryJo, what would bring us together? I mean, there was lots of people sending great praise your way when I asked around ahead of time.
Thank you.
So what's an app on your phone you can't live without?
That's funny. We just did that one. um, Actually, right now I'm into doing the mini crossword. I try and do that every morning just to get the brain going. Definitely Spotify. I do listen to music throughout the day. So, how about you?
Oh goodness. Well, so the New York Times has the mini crossword and the regular crossword, and I like them both. So that's a good start. I've deleted all the social media sites right off my phone. So at this point, it's pretty much just maybe ESPN is the only other real app that I can't live without, or Audible. Audible is probably what
Audible,
I spend
yes,
the
that's a
most
great
time in.
one.
Yeah, not the phone. It used to be the phone, but now it's just something else on the phone.
Yeah.
So as you're thinking through different things that have happened at Sprague, what's an unusual thing, or what's one of those things that sticks out in your mind, a memory from the past, either a memorable moment or something unusual that happened?
Um, Memories can be good and bad, right? But we remember them.
Yeah.
I would have to say, our branch manager, Mike Malloy, when he died unexpectedly, um, it was it was a difficult time, and I think the way the corporate office supported us and just rallied around us, and all the other branches too, like they just stepped up and they came. They route work got done. We were checked on emotionally, and just it made me proud to say that I worked for Sprague. Just the way that they handled that. He was not an employee number. Sorry.
Yeah, I remember that too. That was hard. That was, I was at Pure Mike's at the time. It was difficult. One of the things that I remember too about something very similar is, yes, we sent people to help and to try to make sure that nobody was let down in the process. But about 5 years before that, I had some issues in my Seattle office, and even though Eugene is not close to Seattle, Mike sent people to help me, and uh,
Yeah,
it's one of those things that you sort of don't expect until it happens to you, and then there's a bunch of people to help.
it
That
was
was such
good.
an
Yeah,
yeah. Thanks for being vulnerable enough to talk about that. That is a hard moment. I've got the goosebumps. I mean, that was not a great time.
yeah,
Looking back at it, it was a great time to help each other.
yeah. And you mentioned in your Monday using the whole eulogy,
Yeah,
and we talk a lot about relationships, within the company, with each other, with our clients, um, and I look back at that service and that little open house that we have, and just, I mean, all the people that he had relationships with that came, that showed up, clients came, vendors came. So, relationships do matter. They matter a lot.
it was standing room only, and it spilled into the parking lot. It was incredible.
It was.
Yeah. Well, thanks for bringing that up. That was just one of those horrible things that you never planned for, and I guess you start to see your eulogy values based on how you act when those things happen.
Yeah.
Now, of course, things are very different. It's many years past.
Yes.
Eugene is growing like crazy.
Yes.
You've got some characters in your office.
Yes. We do.
And so, things are very different now.
Yes, they are.
So what does the next 10 years look like?
I think we'll continue to grow. I think hopefully we'll get to the point where we're fully staffed and people can like take a vacation without feeling like they're going to come back and have to do all the work themselves. And
Yeah.
so just that. But yeah, I think our brand, the way that we've handled the COVID situation, people do still, or even more so, rely on us. And so I think that word of mouth reputation is increasing out there.
Yeah. And, hopefully soon we'll not just be fully staffed, but we'll also have brand new carpet.
I hear it's coming on November 9th.
Oh, November 9th. All right. Pictures or it never happened. That's what I say.
I took the day off.
Perfect. Thanks for joining me today on this. Thanks for doing this with me. It's so wonderful to catch up. I wish I'd been able to see you in person this year.
Same here. Good to see you, Ron.
Thanks, MaryJo.